is completely contradictory to what you just said when you said that you asked someone, did you at all in any way agree with Braden? You said no, right? And the other person said no, meaning that you do not espouse Braden's views. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I don't agree. No,
Okay,
that's not
perfect.
true. That's
Perfect.
not true.
But you've
I
just
don't
accused,
agree with
but
Braden
you,
on his racist
okay,
views,
but
but
you've
I can
just
understand
accused
where
Dan,
Braden's coming from.
but you've just accused Dan of literally doing the same thing. You've accused Dan of being complicit, not really saying anything, not contributing to it, but not really saying anything, and you're saying that he agrees with their views.
Yeah, I agree
How
with
does
that.
that
Yeah,
work?
I
How
did.
does that work? That's
Okay, I'm going to
inconsistent.
explain why. Rajiv, listen to me, right? I actually personally, despite what Dan thinks, have nothing against him personally. Okay? But what I don't like is when he comes on, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Four people make judgments for me. Let me explain my position. When Braden was spouting his racist abuse, and he comes on and he starts racist abuse back, as far as I'm concerned, it's an argument between them two. Even if I'm on the panel, it's not to do with me. The only time I will call it out is if I think it's going too far and it's going to lead to violent calls out of this one's postcode and that one's postcode, or where you live, or personal business, or acts of violence. Anything else, I think when it becomes verbal warfare, leave them to it, right? Because
Right.
when Braden come on and said things about, he called me a race traitor. Reel's here, he will admit that. He heard it. He called me a race traitor for being. Wendy, you're here. Did you not hear him say that?
Yeah, he called us all sorts of
Yeah, he actually
things,
called.
but
He actually
that's
picked
Braden,
on.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he actually picked on Wendy because he thought Wendy was me. Right, that's how far gone the bloke is with drugs and drink.
Yeah.
Or,
Right.
am I allowed,
Now-
am I allowed,
now,
can I join in the
Rajiv-
conversation after you? Can I
Yeah,
join
you
in?
can, Raj, but can we just finish what we're saying?
Yeah.
Right? Now, Rajiv, when to my mind, whether Braden's black or whether he's white, right? Or even if he's Muslim, if I'm truthful, yeah? There are these type of people in all our races that have been left out of society, don't know where they belong, right? And need special coaching. To attack them is not the way to resolve the situation, in my mind.
Okay.
Engaging with them,
I agree.
right?
I was going to say,
Engaging with them, trying to understand why they think what they do, and trying to understand them is much better than racial abuse.
I absolutely and 100% agree with you. Now, the reason I have such a problem with the way the streams have been conducting themselves recently is because that is the only and one of the only messages, or the main message, that majority of the minority groups in Speaker's Corner tend to talk about. The main reason this antagonistic view and this antagonistic nature has come to Speaker's Corner is particularly because of gents like Braden. I'm not going to pin it all on him because I don't really
but
think.
to be fair,
Wait,
not just Braden.
One second. I don't think Braden is as racist and as, naturally violent towards minorities as he makes out. I think he's probably got a ton of problems. He's funneled
Agreed.
it in a certain way, right? And in this day and age, he's just landed himself in that rabbit hole of the typical right wing X, Y, and Z. We need to save our country. We need to save our women. All of that nonsense that people who tend to be frustrated in life tend to fall trapped into. My problem comes when these people, right, particularly these people who may not have anything going for them, and if you don't have anything going for you at the time, that's not a problem. I've always had a soft spot for people who just couldn't get their lives going the way they wanted to straight away.
Yeah.
The only thing that mattered to me is if you were willing to try. But the problem is, you have people who will spend all of their time on the dole and then come to Speaker's Corner on a Sunday afternoon amongst many a Muslims, many a black people, many a, Middle Eastern, Asian, all of these minority groups, and tell them that they do not belong here. They are the problem. They are contributing to X, Y, and Z when they themselves are not contributing to a solution.
Exactly. And
So-
Jupiter, let me
Hold
just make this.
on, Dan. I'm talking to Rajiv. If you want to talk to me, I'll talk afterwards, right? Because no one's going to understand me if they don't listen to me.
Okay.
So one
So-
at a time, please.
Okay. So my problem is not because Braden is white. It doesn't even matter if Braden is black or whatever. My problem is that Braden has a problem, right? Typically with all people who tend to be very politically overly active, right? They have a problem in their own lives. They funnel it to some different source. Why couldn't he have chose veganism? He had to choose
Right,
far
okay,
right.
can we stop there?
One second.
Because if it goes on too long, then we
Okay,
then
no
we'll
worries.
forget.
No worries. Go ahead.
Right. I happen to agree with you. I think Braden needs to wake up. He needs to take some personal responsibility. He's in no position to talk to somebody who's black or mixed race or Muslim or any Chinese, whatever race you want to assimilate to the white race, right?
Right.
He's no different. He's got the same opportunities. He's got the same access to these opportunities as everybody else has.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. So I don't disagree with you on that.
Can I now put my input in? Because
Right? No, hold on. Let me finish my point, Raj, and then you can come in. Right? But my point is, yes, maybe you, I don't know. I'm not going to assume because I'm not black. Right? Maybe the blacks deal with their delinquents like this differently. Okay? I don't know. I don't know how you deal with it. But all I know is, from a white person who can see why Braden's feeling like this, and that some people, and I wouldn't say it's Ralph, because I don't think it is Ralph, and this is where I'm disagreeing with people.
Oh,
Right?
reason.
Right?
Mm.
Oh, can I please finish what I'm saying? Right? I don't think it's Ralph in particular. Braden told me on a live stream that he's been listening to alt-right videos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if he's listening to alt-right videos, that could be from mild videos to really extreme videos. We don't know what those videos are. Right? Now, I agree with you, Rajiv. I'm not going to sit here as a white person and say he's not a danger, because I think himself is not a danger, but there could be dangerous people that want to make use of him. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Right. Would you also agree that it's not just the extreme on the white side that could make use of him?
Absolutely.
What? What do you mean? You mean like Muslim extreme?
Yeah.
Please, Dan, I'm talking to Rajiv because he seems to understand where I'm coming from.
Don't be so rude. I'm in a conversation as well. All right.
yeah, I've been waiting to speak for ages.
Right,
Everyone's
okay, both of you step in. Rajiv, when they're finished, I will get back to what I'm saying.
Gents,
Go.
All right,
I don't
so,
want to, guys. I don't want to control the conversation or anything like that. But I feel like it's a little bit more progressive. Even if you disagree or whatever, just I feel I know what Dan was gonna say, and I understand for me in particular what Wendy it's Jupiter was gonna say in terms of there's so many people that can use Braden's violence, anger, and so on. So the left can use this to fuel articles till the cows come home. Absolutely, but I think Dan.
I'm not
was
even
probably,
talking just within the white race.
Absolutely,
Rajiv.
absolutely. But I think maybe where Dan may come in particular is obviously the level of priority when it comes to safety. I think we can all agree that when it comes to problems like terrorism or problems like shootings, problems like political assassination, stuff like that, the left is merely in its infantile stages in comparison to the right, which is in its full adult stage of like militant arming, getting people on the streets, marches of people from ex-cons, like Vinny was saying earlier, right? But
Right.
the reason,
I will agree with you, Rajiv.
Yeah,
But it
the
also
reason,
depends on the context of the situation. Even you must admit that.
absolutely, I agree,
Right.
but I want
There's
to
levels
say,
and there's nuances at every level.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
All right.
But
So, is
I want to
anybody
say,
allowed to kind of contribute to this,
absolutely,
or is
Raj,
this
Raj, absolutely, absolutely,
Right, go
absolutely.
ahead. Let
But
them
I
say
just
what
want
they
to,
want to say,
no,
and then I
absolutely.
can get back.
I just
All
want to
right.
say, guys, keep this platform or this wave of just allowing each other to speak, and then
Yeah.
and then continuing afterwards, because it's more productive that way. Go ahead, Raj, or
All right.
Dan, whichever one.
Yeah. So I just want to say, first of all, if I leave the chat, it's not because I'm running away. It's because sometimes I get very heated, and I don't like shouting at women. And both Jupiter, and Wendy do my head in. So I don't want to shout at them. So I might leave the chat rather than swearing, because I hate good looking back
And
when
come
I'm
back.
shouting at women. And so I did that with Wendy last time. So it's just if that happens, they got a way of pissing me off. So basically, when it comes to Braden first, I've known Braden for a year, and I met him when I first went, and he was not the Braden I see today. And so he has been radicalized, whether people think it or not, the same way some Muslims get radicalized because they're kind of disenfranchised and they feel like, they got nothing better, and people manipulate them and then make them into, they're kind of little foot soldiers to do the dirty work that they want to do. So Ralph is kind of like, I'm not saying he's the one of the catalyst for it, but he's somebody that is using him to do that. And so I've spoken to people very high up, and they're gonna kind of try and intervene and support him, because we do not want people on both sides becoming radicalized. The best thing is people can talk. I mean, if you're a patriot and you're proud to be English, and you're a bit worried about your culture kind of being disintegrating before your eyes, I want to hear that. People can talk about that. But when you're starting to say that, someone like myself, who I know him, can't be me because I'm from Punjabi descent, then we got a problem, because I'm here and I'm not going to accept people
Right,
saying.
can I respond to that?
Oh, I haven't finished
Who
it.
said that?
Hold on. So I asked Braden, could I be mayor? He said no. So that's an issue. Now, the other things, I will talk to you, both Wendy and Jupiter later, because I don't want it to derail, because I'm going to have to leave when they start shouting at me. But you
I'm
said
not going to shout at you, Ralph.
No, it's Raj, for God's sakes. Don't call me that lunatic, big-head, jug-head little prick.
Sorry, that was a fraudulent slip. Sorry, Raj.
No. So can I just say so? No one can mistake me for Ralph with those big ears. I've got a big nose. Remember that big nose, big ears. So we're two different ones. So I will talk to you about it, because there's plenty some real slanderous accusations chucked my way, and I need to refute them. And so
No, that's fine. Look, Raj, I actually respect you. I'm not going to shout at you, right? I want a sensible debate here, because people need to understand what's really going on.
Can I just clarify? I'm not saying you're going to shout at me. You're just going to irritate me.
You could be. I can't control that, can I?
I'm saying, you could just be speaking totally calmly, but your voices do my head in, and I'm just warning you. So what I'll do, I'm not going to shout back. I'll drop off.
Right. Well, that's, to me, Raj, that's a slight insult.
I know it's an insult. I wasn't meant to be a compliment.
Right. So I should allow that slight insult.
I'm not
to give you respect. You see where this gets stupid?
First of all, I never asked for your respect. I'm being honest. I'm very blunt. Your voices are irritating.
Right, okay. Well, then when I get blunt with you, please don't start being a victim.
I'm not going to be a victim. I'm just going to go, okay, Raj, calm down and leave and come back. Would you rather me tell you the truth? I tell a lot of people that their voices are irritating.
Right, okay. So when I give you the truth, please handle it as the truth and not as me picking on you.
Can I just say, don't take it personal. There's lots of people have said your voice is like freaking like chalk on a chalkboard. And both
I know that. I accept that. But I expected more from you, Raj. That's what I'm saying.
Have you been streams?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
Oh my God, I say to it. I'm sorry.
I thought that you were above that.
Oh my God! Look, I'm in the gutter when I need to be, and I'm up there when I need to be.
So that's what I'm saying. The rules don't apply just one way.
I know. I don't mind that. I'm just saying, if you do, I'm going to leave because I find your voice is irritating. What is the problem with that? Have I said
something? There's no problem. But then don't make it that I bullied you out of leaving.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying no
Yeah,
one
guys,
think that I've
guys.
left because you lot are bullying me or saying something wrong.
Guys.
Yeah.
I don't want
Right,
us to
okay,
get.
can we go
Yeah, let's
back
go
to
back. Let's
Raj's?
go.
Because this is
Yeah,
getting nowhere.
I don't want it to get back into a circle back and
Yeah,
forth. Like, we
go.
understand that Raj finds your voice annoying, and obviously you're going to be hella blunt with Raj. Like, message received,
Yeah.
that's great. I want to
Yeah.
bring in Dan here because I feel like between Jupiter and Dan, there may have been a misunderstanding, and in particular, I'm not saying anything new that Dan probably has not said. So I'm going to try act as a buffer between the two of you if you guys want to maybe speak about the topics you've been speaking over the last days. And
Listen, Rajiv, I've spoken to Dan. I ain't got a problem with Dan.
I
Right,
understand that.
when he talks to me on a level,
Okay.
I talk to Dan on a level.
All right.
Right.
Well, we can talk then.
But
We
when
can
he,
talk.
yeah, go on, Dan. Go on, say what you got to
Okay.
say.
So I found it disrespectful that you would say something like me giving Braden some harsh advice for hours, unpaid. I think you should take it back. You said that I was anti-white racist, something like that. White racism. I didn't
Right,
understand
okay,
that.
stop you there.
Explain. Yeah.
Okay, stop you there. Let's deal with that comment. The things you said to him implied racism. It implied that you thought all white people were like
refer
that.
to what I said? Can you refer specifically to what I said?
When you were saying, "Oh yeah, go and sniff, and you do that, and you do this," you made it appear like you thought all white people were just sniffers of coke
No, I
and people
didn't.
that drank. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, guys,
You did.
Okay. Let's clear this up now. All right. If that's what you felt, let's clear this up. Let's ask him, is that what you meant? And if that's what he meant, he'll say yes, he'll say no, and then we'll just move on from there. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's 100% not what I meant. And at no point will you be able to find any cases, examples of that at all. That's
Right,
ridiculous.
okay.
Half of my family's
okay.
white. And my mum's white, Jupiter. All right? Let's just remember that.
I know your mum's white, but I don't believe
you
you were
don't.
brought up by your mum.
you-
Hold on.
Of course I was.
I
Both
don't
my mum
believe
and my
that
dad
you
were in my... Of course. What? Yes, they were. Don't talk about... You can just ask these questions. Yes, I was
Right,
brought
okay,
up by
can
my
we just
mum.
leave
Yes, I
family
was.
out of it then? Because it complicates things.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Okay, guys. I think again, guys, this whole point. Obviously, I understand it was
Well,
comments
hold on,
thrown
no,
out there.
Black. Let me just get back to that because I think there was an implication that somehow I've been raised by a black side of my family who
but I
doesn't
want
like.
to deal with him as a person, not as what his parents are.
Okay, so do you think that I was brought up in a predominantly white or predominantly black household? Is that what you think? And therefore, I can't understand the plight of working class white people.
I think that's irrelevant.
No, that's what you just said, though.
No, you brought it in. I didn't bring up your
No, you
family.
did.
You did.
You did. You said you didn't think I'd
No,
been raised
no,
by my mum.
please, Rajiv, who brought in his family?
Okay, I'm gonna ask a simple question. Jupiter, do you think, and from this point on, I'm asking a very simple question, which you will not be able to use to Dan later on in any conversation if you clearly don't think it's important. You did actually say to him that, you were raised by X, Y, and Z, right? I'm just wondering.
No, I didn't. I never brought anything in about my family.
No. You said his family, that he was raised. You said that.
Yeah, but who brought in the comment first? Who said?
I understand. I just want to check the importance of that comment. Do you think it's an important?
Right, I'm not
comment?
interested in what his family is. I'm dealing with him as a person.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
so let's leave that out. Let's just throw it aside as a pass-by comment. It wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary. And let's get back to the topic at hand. In terms of bringing up the whole white race, in terms of when criticizing Braden, how do you feel in particular Dan implicated the whole white race by giving Braden himself advice?
Right. There's parts of what Dan said to Braden that I actually agreed with. So don't think I'm completely against Dan. I'm not.
What were those points?
When you were talking to him on a rational level, why don't you get a job, etc., 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 I don't mind. But when you start bringing in the racial connotation, listen, There's something that I call moral high ground.
I didn't use
Right?
any racial connotations. I didn't. You won't find
You
that.
did.
I never once
did.
referred to his ethnicity. No,
Oh.
I didn't. The only
Okay.
time I pointed out his background was when I mentioned that he's ironically an English purebred patriot who's half Irish. That's the only thing I
Right.
said. That's the
Purebred,
only
what's
thing
that
I
mean?
said.
What does purebred patriot mean?
You have to ask him. He thinks he's at Crufts.
No, you
He said
brought
he's a
it up.
pedigree.
What does
He said he's a
purebred,
pedigree.
in
He
your
said he's a
opinion,
pedigree.
what does a purebred patriot mean?
This is the
Everything
same.
that
This is the same
to a
thing that
point,
Banksy said.
Rajiv.
No,
Oh.
all the way. No, but this is the point, Juba. The only time I mentioned his race at all was when I pointed out that he's not the pedigree, pure English breed that he claims he is. And then he shits on people who, like Raj.
That's not true, Dan.
It is
I
true.
don't
He
mind you
turned on
saying that,
everyone. He
Chris.
turned on you.
Listen,
He called you
no,
a race
oh.
traitor. He called Wendy a race traitor. He called Banksy a race traitor. He called Voodoo
Right, am I going to be allowed to speak?
Hold on, can I just say something before you speak? Let's just leave Braden for now, because tomorrow I'm going to have him on the show. I'm hoping, because the more we're talking about him, I think the more we're kind of like demonize. We don't need to demonize.
Absolutely.
The best thing, like, I mean, I don't always agree with Raji, but I agree on a lot of things. Like these kind of individuals, because I've been in that position where you're kind of like feel like you're an outskirts of society, no one's listening, and you get angry. We need to let them talk and try and support them. And you may think me giving him over to some people might big up to Vinny Sullivan, a really great guy. Always looks angry.
Raj, it's not about you, and no, I think you've done a good thing by getting in touch with Vinny.
Can you just? All right, I might have to drop off the call in a minute. Just calm down. So basically, when it comes to this, is like I've tried to get him over to people that some people might think are on the far right, but they're not. They're patriots more than far right, and I'm hoping they can kind of push him back or put him back to a more centrist ground. So I'm not sure if it's best if we keep him. He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Right, clap.
Yeah,
Now
sorry. So go. No, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so basically, I think what Dan was trying to describe is that historically, right? Brendan's kind of like origin wouldn't have meant would have made him the black of society. So when he calls yourself and Wendy race traitors, there's an irony there because his ancestry does not grant him the privilege to say such things to, I assume you ladies
Rajiv,
are
do you
of
think
actual...
I don't know that?
No, but this is exactly what I'm trying to explain, that Dan is trying to explain to Brendan, but I think sometimes it's a harsh truth that he doesn't want to know.
No,
is all I was trying to
listen.
explain.
The thing is Jupiter, that wasn't actually the issue you had. That was the issue you had was me talking about him drinking Stella and sniffing coke on a Monday and a Tuesday. And I don't know if you were there.
My issue is not that you look down on
please
me.
no, because I'm going to drop out as well. I'm going to do the same thing as Raj because your voice is annoying when you start talking over me. Please,
Right,
just let me
go
speak. All right, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be.
I think it'll be more productive without you, so I don't mind that.
Don't blame me.
Let's give Jupiter. I think we've all fired. I fired particularly. Sorry. Let's let Jupiter respond to some of the stuff that we've already kind of put out.
Okay.
Let's let her respond.
The fact is, right, I'm not actually angry with Dan for giving racial slurs back. That don't bother me.
I didn't give any racial slurs.
Yeah, you
Woman.
did.
Woman,
Yeah, you did.
I
Maybe
did not
from
on
a
my
black
mother's life. On my
perspective,
mother's
from a
life, I
white
know I
perspective,
didn't.
you did.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, what are you talking about? You're lying. You're a delusional old woman who's lying. You've seen things that you.
I'm a
You're like one of these
delusional
people
woman,
who's
yeah.
like-
Go on,
you're
what
like-
else?
You remind me of one of these lefties who sees Nazis everywhere. What are you talking about?
Right, I'm a
You're
lefty now, and I'm a
completely
Nazi, yeah? Go on.
You're deluded. You're deluded. I've never said anything racist to Braden.
All right.
The only thing
Okay.
I've said to him-
Hold on there. The stream is still up, yeah. If you're going to make accusations like this, you've got to bring the reproof, because you've said stuff about me as well, which is very dangerous, the way you're directed, kind of the way you're spewing some stuff. I was going to say running your mouth, but people are going to say I'm being sexist, but, you know, you're saying
Right, is
stuff
this
that are
me
reckless.
against Raj and fucking Dan, or is this me having a
Just
sensible
stop lying.
conversation
Just tell
with
the
Rajiv?
fucking-
You can't slander people and then expect to be like, oh, I'm all by myself.
Fuck
Oh, I
off!
can't
You
do
slander
nothing.
everyone every day.
I
Stop
know,
it, Raj.
And the thing is, I fight back and I argue. I don't whinge and say I'm being outnumbered and start crying like a little woman. You got to calm down a bit, man.
Don't ya?
Yeah, you've got
Don't ya?
to.
I didn't
You
go and
should
call my
calm down.
fucking far right, mates.
I know what you need to. Oh, all right. So, all right. So, all right. You're really saying some stuff that are getting a bit stupid now. I think you need to like calm down. If you think Richard Inman, Ray, or Vinnie Sullivan are far right, and you don't think Ralph is, then you're deluded, woman.
Delusional.
Who said that then?
All right, so who did I call? What mates did I call?
Well, you're quite happy to sit there and talk about far right and how powerful they are, and now you're going to bring them to the park and everything else, but then you sit there and say they're not far right when it suits you. Go away, Raj.
All right, so
Go
let me ask you a question. When I bring them down to protect me against the Muslims who pushed me out, was you okay when they all come down in mass? Remember? Or did you support that?
I didn't mind them coming down.
Oh, yeah,
That was for justice.
Oh, but
yeah?
Ralph threatening my mother, saying he's going to go to war with my mum, that he's going to
destroy
me.
Do you really believe that?
He's going to destroy me. He's
Do you believe that?
He's going to.
Do you believe that?
Did you believe the Muslims are going to hurt me?
What do you mean?
Did you believe the Muslims were going to hurt me? Yeah. So why do you believe the Muslims would hurt me, but Ralph wouldn't?
Because I don't believe that Ralph, right, means half of what he says.
Maybe the Muslims didn't then. Then maybe the Muslims just all hot here by that logic.
Right, okay.
So I'm using your logic.
You understand Muslims better than I do.
Well, I understand you're a hypocrite.
Right, okay. I think you're a hypocrite.
You think that it's okay for me to bring down Richard Inman and them lot when the Muslims were gunning for me, but when one of your far-right racist buddies starts gunning for my mother, I can't call them up.
Right, okay. Let me stop you there. Number one, I don't know Ralph offline at all, in any way, shape or form, right? I don't have any contact with him in any way, shape.
What grounds have you got to know him? What grounds have you got then? If you don't know him, what grounds have you got? Because he's threatened me, and when he threatened me, you didn't want to hear any of it. You didn't want to hear any of it.
I judge him on what I see.
You didn't want to hear any of it.
The thing is, Dan, forget about threatening you. He was calling you a nigger about 20 times.
And they were laughing in the background.
They were laughing.
Bollocks to this. I thought I was having a conversation with Rajiv.
All right.
Now I've got three people. I've got three people trying to group think me into thinking the way they do.
We're not your kids. You may be used to talking to people like this, like your kids, but we're not your children. You can't dictate to us what we can speak about.
Fucking hell! Why are you bringing kids and family into it, Raj?
I said we're not your kids.
What kind of person are you, Raj? You don't want your mum involved, but you want to bring my kids involved.
Did I say? Did I bring your kids, or did I say
no, Raj, tell them.
No, I understand.
Raj,
I'm not having the hypocrisy.
Hold on. Did I say? Did I bring the kids out? Or did I say I'm not your kids? I'm not your kid.
Chill.
Am I your kid?
No, I understand, Raj.
Yeah, so you can't dictate to me. I've only got one mother.
Okay,
and it's not you.
You're not my dad.
Raj, this is not helping.
You're not my dad.
You need to calm down.
You're not my dad, Raj. You're not my dad.
Ralph ain't your dad either.
Guys,
all right. So can I just say, look, one thing, Rajiv. Let me just say. All right, hold on. Let me just say something. Yeah. Look, I don't want to disrespect women online. Yeah, I don't want to do a big odds.
But then fuck off.
I hate doing that, but when you have women running their gums here and telling people they can't speak, sometimes you got to kind of like.
You're trying to tell me I can't speak.
I didn't say you couldn't speak. I said you're running your gums. There's a difference. You can
run them. Running a gun? Okay. What is that? What does that mean?
You can run them, but when you expect
what does running a gun mean in your world?
When someone speaks back and tries to rebut you, you can't start crying and bitching and whining.
Who's crying?
Raj, that's not fair. Yeah. That's not fair.
It's the truth. She's crying. All right.
Who's crying?
Guys, chill. Raj, all I'm gonna say is,
I'm gonna be muting up because I don't want to say nothing disrespectful.
Thank you. All I'm going to say is, in terms of your last comment, I think that was unfair. I think, in general, Jupiter has a lot to answer, and there's a lot of us asking her questions on the panel right now. And a lot of the times that can feel like a lot of heat. So I'm giving her a bit of slack, right? I normally, if you've seen my debates, I give no one slack. I'm giving her a little bit of slack because she's at least trying to go through her points. Even if they're right or wrong, she's trying to go through her points, right? What we need to do, if we honestly want her opinion to change at all, we need to give her space to talk through her just general ideas. And again, with Dan, obviously, I understand you were saying, Jupiter, I'm going to address the fact that you obviously keep saying that Dan has been saying racial stuff to Braden. If he said something insultive, then just say it's insultive. let's not make it racial if there is no proof of
Yeah,
racial.
but when no, hold on, Rajiv.
Okay.
Listen, I would get equally offended, right? For example, let me give you an example. When Nyanifa complains that somebody like I don't know if you're up to date with what's happened on Raspek's show, but I watch a lot of shows, right? When Nyanifa and the black women complain they don't like people suggesting that they only take out women and take them to a chicken shop, right?
Yeah.
But they're not actually being racial. But you know, it's referring to a racial stereotype.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing on the white side.
I agree.
So wait,
okay.
are you saying? So
Do you
what's this
understand where I'm
stereotype
coming
that
from,
you think-
Rajiv? I'm not trying to make you take sides, but do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm going to be speaking. Hold on, but Dan, I'm going to speak for
Okay.
Jupiter for 1 minute. It's actually for Jupiter, so we're not arguing. So one thing I find quite disgusting at Speaker's Corner is that when I talk about when people talk about Britain, they always say, "Oh, the British, all they do is go down to the pub and get drunk. All they do is freaking, shag each other." It's a very derogatory kind of like way of kind of putting down another
Right. So
group
when
of people.
Dan does it, is it okay?
Okay. Can I address?
I mean, exactly. What did you exactly say, Dan?
This is what I'm saying. I am absolutely baffled. Like, I'm searching back through the various combos that I've had with Braden, and at no point did I say anything that could
You
be.
suggested you should carry on sniffing, and you were making jokes and everything else. To be honest,
I suggested he should carry on
my
sniffing.
opinion of you, Dan, is that you can't take the moral high ground. Right, listen, I made jokes against Braden.
Listen,
I
can
will
you stop
admit that,
shouting over
right?
me? You're not really making much of a point. I just want to say what I'm saying.
Right,
You're talking
okay,
about
I'm not making a point. Yeah, carry on.
No, you're not making a point. You're just putting across your opinion on the very little that you know about me. Just now you said that I probably didn't have a white woman in my life growing up, and I'm mixed race. I don't know what you're trying to imply
When did I say that?
You
when
just
did I
said it
say
earlier
that?
in the debate. It's like you've been
Right,
drinking
can
tonight.
people,
but you did
anyone
just
here
say
vouch that I actually told him he didn't have a white woman in his life?
All right, so this is what was said because I was listening. Probably he said my mother's white. You said you was probably not brought up by your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
But
saying that
is that saying that he hasn't had a white woman in his life?
So why did you make the bold assumption that his mother wasn't bringing him up?
Because on another stream, on Raspek's, I think it was, he said that he was brought up in a household that was dominated Jamaican with his own grandmother that was Jamaican, and that's where he got a lot of his influence from.
Yes,
and that leads to the conclusion.
Did you say that, Dan?
But how does that go to the conclusion that he was not brought up by his mother? Because that's a big statement to make. Because most people are brought up by their mother.
Yeah, but my point is, when you make statements like that, what is that statement implying?
I would have just said that his mother was probably looking after him in a mainly Jamaican household. That's what I would think. But it would be his mother looking after him.
No, that's not how it comes across to me.
Can I ask? Sorry, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to defend. I'm basically just being straw man. And defending a straw man is tiring. It's so tiring. If
don't
you at least
defend it then. Let me talk to Rajiv.
Well, no, but I'm going to make other points. So there was another point with Braden.
Right, well then don't say it's fucking tiring. You want to be here. Don't make it look like I'm making you be here.
Why are you shouting and swearing at me?
Because, Dan, you're trying to make it look like I'm forcing you to stay in a debate with me when I'm not. I'm really not.
It's a panel full of around 6 people.
Listen,
we all are on
the
the
way
panel.
I see it, right, you lot all think you're calling me out. The way I see it, Dan is trying to clear his name. That's the way I see it.
Fair play. Okay, well, again...
Look, Jupiter, you've just got to look at it this way, Jupiter. We take care of our own, yeah? So, it's all right, Jupiter, we take care of our own. Don't, just don't get involved with the Braden argument. We know what was said and we know what was done.
But Wendy,
Braden has problems, and we've all tried to help Braden. All of us.
Yes,
Wendy,
all of
would you
us.
say that
in between.
Wendy, would you say that I was racist towards Braden? Did you pick up any of this similar sort of stuff that Jupiter's referring to?
I haven't heard it, but then I might not have been there. I don't know.
I mean, from what you've heard of me interacting with him, did you take anything away from it that was entirely negative, entirely positive? What was your point? What was your take? Sorry.
No, I've heard you. I've heard you, myself, Jupiter, all try to give Braden good advice and tell him to stop what he's doing, drinking or whatever, and get a job. And so I've even tried, and I was called a sellout.
Yeah,
exactly.
You was.
Exactly. But this is
Yeah,
the point.
but this is where you're getting it wrong, Dan. I'm not saying that you're better than me or worse than me. This is where you're getting it wrong.
Could you just stop shouting?
I'm saying
Please stop shouting. Your voice is really quite grating at high volumes. Hold on,
it's not relevant.
No, it is relevant. Don't shout at me and tell me what's not relevant when I'm making the point, please.
Jupiter, in terms of like obviously what I've just talked about, the very passive racism that sometimes does come across in certain topics, certain conversations. I do agree there's certain comments, like if someone talks about, something blowing up and they automatically assume that the person's brown skin or whatever. Yes, that is a form of underseated racism that is just weaponizing language that he can't be criminalized on. But I think we have to be very careful when, in particular, say with Braden. Braden is very comfortable with using these extreme languages, and I think you guys have given me a bit more context.
But do you think that I agree with Braden's views?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. You guys have given me a bit more context that Braden has changed from the person he was last year to this person now who is speaking of X, Y, and Z. Now, the problem I find in particular is obviously where Wendy has just kind of said, you look after your own, you've done this with Braden, you've done that with Braden. Like, there's a bit of a defeatist tone, and this is ironic coming from me.
But hold on, let me just step in there.
Go on.
To me, my own is my African husband, my mixed race kids, and me, English. So it's not just
I understand.
Only English people.
No, I do understand, but I think stuff like that, it's ironic because a lot of people, they talk shit about the left, but being a leftist is probably one of the hardest things in the sense that you have to fight for the rights for people who don't really give a shit about your rights. And a lot of the time, it doesn't matter.
I've got to stop you there again.
1 second, let me finish. It doesn't matter whether Braden hates me or not. For me personally, I would rather see him come out of that tunnel a better man than he is today. And that's not whether or not he believes in X, Y, and Z racism, whatever. It's financially, it's better position, it's his life in general, so that he at least has the chance to change himself. When someone has the chance to change themselves and they don't change, then it's within their nature. But if someone is a certain way...
I disagree. That's where No. Let's stop there.
Go on.
Right. I agree with you that Braden needs to change his ways. I don't agree with all the things that Braden has said. If that's what people are thinking, they need to check themselves, right? And stop judging me on my skin colour, right? And just take me as a voice. I wish they would do that. Just take me as a voice.
Okay.
Right?
All right, so, once you spoke, can I speak after her, please?
Right? I think Braden does need help. I actually think that Raj done the right thing by going and getting Vinny.
Absolutely.
Oh, so you're okay with me finding my far-right mates for that, though?
He's not far-right, though, is he?
I don't consider Vinny far-right. You consider him far-right, Ralph. When you're on your live streams, threatening other people in the black room that you're going to bring people down Speaker's Corner.
Completely counterproductive to the point, guys. Completely counterproductive.
We are going to talk about that once this is done, because you made some very slanderous claims, and they could actually be criminal.
Don't fucking threaten me with fucking criminal libel and all that shit. Otherwise, I won't bother talking at all.
Can you even hear what I'm saying? I said what you said could be criminal against me. Now the police could
don't give a shit. He's bigger than you, Raj.
Oh, come on, guys. Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
I don't know.
Let's be reasonable here, guys.
Let me just say something.
I just want to speak. I didn't want to shut you down.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying,
you're doing a very good job. I appreciate it.
I'm just saying, like, bro, that could have waited for another time. Like, if you guys have something to hash out, you can do that another time. Do you know what I mean? But right now, go on.
Look, I know what you're saying, but this...
See, the thing is, Rajiv, if you want me to be truthful, I don't think Raj actually helps the cohesion either.
All right, so let me say something. What it is that she's such a big hypocrite. She doesn't even understand when she's being hypocritical. So she's saying to me earlier that I phoned my far right mate to intimidate Ralph, but she's okay with me finding those same people to help Braden. Does that make sense? Because they were the people that I called. I don't understand how at 1 minute they're far right.
But do you understand individualism?
Okay, all right, guys. So picture what I'm
I've got a question.
Rajiv, good luck. Rajiv, good luck. You've got a patience of a saint, man. We need to knight you after this.
With respect, I don't understand how individualism comes into this.
Absolutely.
Right, I'll explain why. Because he's not taking every situation as it comes. He's trying to form a narrative.
Okay,
and that is what is making me angry, Voodoo.
That's not individualism, though, mate. All right.
Can I ask?
I know you're. Listen, I've been listening to the show. I'm trying to get to sleep, but I had to come back in because I can see you're pissed off. All right, but I think you just need to maybe just chill out a bit. Take on board what these guys are trying to say. Maybe take a deep breath. And I'm not coming at you in a hard way here.
Yeah, but I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I can fucking tell you're pissed off.
Yeah, I'm well pissed off. I'm well pissed off. I'm not going to sit here and let them fucking victimize white people. I'm not going to do that.
That's fair enough. That's fair. No, I do understand. I just think the one thing that says people. One second, Raj. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. The one thing I think when people who are in uni, who are in parliament and stuff like that, tend to do when they have conversations is that they even if they disagree virulently and it stirs up the most hatred, they wait for it to finish and then they respond. I feel like if you guys can get that skill, 100% these conversations would be so much more fruitful. You guys would have less arguments and you guys would be less tedious towards each other and less petty.
Yes, but Rajiv,
right now, yeah, go on.
You say that, right? But have I gone around Speaker's Corner, getting people in my corner to politically motivate or to align with me or to agree with my views? Have I done that?
No, you haven't.
No, but the other side have.
I agree, but that's a problem that we're constantly fighting. Like, I can say as a leftist, I'm not a feminist. I don't agree with feminist culture. I don't agree with feminist issues that currently are being pushed by the media, right? That's something that we need to address. 1 second. That's something that we need to address. If we ever think we're going to beat Donald Trump, if we ever think we're going to persuade people who are leavers, we need to address the hypocrisies on our side. I absolutely agree with you 100%.
Why would you want to persuade people that are leavers?
Say that again?
Why would you want to persuade?
That's a different Voodoo. Stop it. That's a different conversation. That's different. We can get into that.
That's complicated. Can I just put a bit of an input in? What it is, I think the more interesting conversation about what's happened over the last couple of days is that because remember I knew Braden from before and I've seen him transit because I didn't go for 3 months. I didn't see him for 6 months. What happened? That's what I'm interested in. What happened from the Braden I knew who was So the Braden I knew who was putting his arms around me.
No, you're virtue signaling, Raj, and that's why I don't like you.